growing your own vegetables is not only healthier, but it is a great way to save money. As our vegetable garden series continues, now's the time for all of you to start your seeds so you can get a jump start on the growing season. And here to show us how the flower and is the flower and herb product manager from Johnny's Selected Seeds. Please welcome Kelly Dionne. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
So, explain for our audience why it's important to start seeds indoors for later planting outdoors.
Well, there's a number of reasons that you would start seeds indoors, but the biggest one is so you can get a jump start on the growing season. So you can extend your season, so you can get more vegetables. Another reason is so that you can choose varieties that you can't find locally.
Yes.
Things like cardoon, which would be very difficult to find locally.
My cardoons, look, I've started them already, and they are growing like crazy in the greenhouse. And as soon as there's no chance of frost, or if perchance I put a little plastic hoop house up, I can put the cardoons out.
Absolutely.
And so, Kelly, I just want to show you. This is my garden plan for this year.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's rather large. This translates into a giant garden, and there are many, many, many varieties of seeds here. So I have a lot of planting to do. We've already started, but I keep every day we plant another couple flats. And so I thought it'd be really great if you showed all the different ways to plant seeds, because there are many different ways, and which seeds should be sown in the ground, and when, and which seeds should be started now indoors.
Okay, well, we can talk a little bit about the seeds that you would grow indoors now. There's many that you can start indoors, but tomatoes, eggplants, snapdragons, peppers, broccoli, kale, those are all things that can be grown indoors now.
Okay, so here we have some, what are these?
Those are leek seed.
Oh yeah, leeks, okay.
Yep.
So we have some leeks and we have some kale, both of which could be started now for outdoor transplanting.
Yep.
Yeah, the leeks, I love growing leeks.
They're great.
Nothing's better than a homegrown leek, or nothing's better than homegrown kale either.
Kale's wonderful.
So we have a seed starting worksheet on our website, which you can download, and then you can keep track of everything that you plant indoors. It's a very nice thing, and you can punch holes in it and keep it in a notebook. That way, you know which varieties, and you can always check which varieties do well, and it tells how many weeks before. So you plant backwards, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I always try to do that. Plant backwards from. We can plant outside May 1st easily, and for tender things, not all tender things, but a lot of tender things, like all the brassicas.
Right.
Okay, so we always put those outside. But okay, so we have these little plastic.
Sure, we have the cell trays or plug flats, and you would fill this with soil, and then you would plant your small seeds in here.
Now, what kind of soil? Just seed starting soil?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Starter soil.
Yep. Germination mix.
Okay.
Would be the best. And then we put it in this flat here. This is just to keep the water from running off onto your table.
Now these are reusable, and so you don't have to feel bad if you buy stuff like this. If you take good care of it and don't bang it around, it doesn't break. For a couple years. I've had some of these for like 4 or 5 years, and they're still fine.
I have too, and the important thing is to bleach them when you're done.
So soak them in a big sink with some bleach.
So then you would use the clear cover to just create, you're just creating a little miniature greenhouse like this. And it keeps the moisture in.
And they should germinate, like a broccoli should germinate like in 4 or 5 days, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they go so fast. It's so much fun to, after you plant, to see them popping up.
Yes.
Yeah, and then once they get to be about this high, you take the cover off, of course, and let them harden off a little bit, and as they grow. And these can be just popped out and then ultimately popped into the ground.
Right.
Yeah, great.
But if you can't get into the ground as early, like we can't sometimes in Maine, you can bump them up into something larger like this.
Right. Okay. And the heating pad is very important if you are using a room like 55 degrees.
Right. There are lots of things that would prefer warmer soil, like peppers and squash, and so this warms the soil enough for better germination.
We have a grow light back here that's important also, because once your seeds, if you don't have a greenhouse or a greenhouse window, this little grow light really works very well, doesn't it?
It does.
And do you sell these too?
We do.
Oh, these are great.
Yep, and this one is adjustable, so you can lower it down when your seedlings are very small and then raise it up as they get larger.
Oh yeah, this is great. I love that. I need about 400 of those. It's just crazy. And then what about these? These are big pots for transplanting?
They are. These are dot pots, and they're made out of wood fiber and peat moss, so they're completely biodegradable.
Right. Do you break off the bottom when you put them in the ground, or break them a little bit?
You can.
Yeah. And then these are something new.
They are.
I don't know if anybody can guess what this is made out of. Totally biodegradable, right?
Yes.
And they're made out of cow manure. This is a great byproduct. So you're not only fertilizing your garden,
Right.
you are really recycling a giant byproduct, right? And the owner is Matt Freund. He developed this, and
Yes.
is that Matt right there?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Hi, Matt.
How are you?
Very nice to see you. So what gave you the idea to use cow manure for these?
Well, you sit around the lunch table, you figure out what you're going to do with your poo, and that's what we came up with.
Excellent, excellent reasoning. No, but I'm happy to see these because I think that this is really great. And I haven't used these yet, so I'm gonna take some home and put my tomatoes in. They're just about ready to put into pots this size.
Great. With these pots, you do not crush them or tear the bottoms
Just
off.
put 'em right
because
in.
the plant grows right in, and that helps it with the transplant shock.
That's great. So
you-
there's no root restriction whatsoever.
Absolutely.
How fabulous.
Yep.
Okay, well, good luck. This is wonderful. And you're selling these at Johnny's.
Yes.
Okay, and everyone in the audience, by the way, is taking home a package to try, okay? It's the first time I've been able to give cow manure away. This is great. I like that very, very much. Well, when we come back, Kelly will show us one more method for sowing seeds indoors, so stay with us. I'm here with flower and herb product manager from Johnny's Selected Seeds, Kelly Dionne, and she's going to show us how to build soil blocks. A good friend of mine really sort of like pioneered in this, didn't he?
Yes.
And Elliot Coleman up in Maine, and
Yep.
he grows wonderful vegetables all year round using soil blocks. And so this is basically this soil. It's called Vermont compost, and it's a real potting soil. And this is the fantastic little gadget. So this makes, you tell us what this makes.
Right. That makes soil blocks, which is exactly that. It's a block of compressed potting soil. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that the soil is wet enough. And usually we say that it wants to be the consistency of peanut butter. So it's a little bit wet.
It smells really good too.
Yeah, a little different than peanut butter.
And so they come in 3 different sizes
They
that I
do.
have. This tiny one for initial seedlings with a little, that'll have a little indentation for the seed. This giant one for transplanting, like larger plants. And this is the most common size
Right, this
to
is.
use. Right. So you have to really push this down into the soil a couple times to build up a block. I think I got it already. See, the soil is all in there. And then you just take a tray like this. You can use a wooden flat if you have it, a plastic flat, and then you just release this right into, just like this, push down, and you have your planting block right there. See that? It really works. It's fantastic. We love making these because it really saves a lot of time.
It does.
And for big seeds like cauliflower, broccoli, eggplant, even tomatoes, I start them in these blocks because then you don't have to do transplanting so quickly.
And then you don't have to worry about the plastic washing
That's
or
right.
getting rid of the plastic at
Right.
the end.
So just keep making these until you fill a flat, then do your planting. And here we have, this looks like lettuce seed. You can plant lettuce in here, I guess. But you could just put a seed in each of the holes, or 2, and fill in with a little bit of damp soil and start the growing process. So it takes, and these, and then we have these cardoons. Oh, these
Yeah.
are
So this is a finished in the medium-sized block. This cardoon is just
And
ready
look-
for
Yeah,
transplanting
because you can
now.
see the roots are just starting to emerge from the block sides.
And that's the benefit of the soil blocks too, is when the roots get to the edge of the block, they stop growing and they wait for you to transplant them. So this would either be ready to go into the ground or into a container,
Do
depending.
you know my ground has about 6 inches of snow on it? So last week I would have put it in the ground and then everything would have been dead because
Yes.
don't rush the season.
Right.
Wait until there is no longer the threat.
Of frost.
But I do
Or
have,
snow.
I did sow a few spinach seeds. I think they'll survive.
They'll be okay.
Yeah.
These would not. But then you can take this block and put it in to the larger soil block.
See the system?
There.
It is so great. No digging, no anything. It's so perfect. And then you can have a whole big tray just of these big things.
And this won't need to be planted out for, well, that can wait for
a long time, like
a
2
long
months.
time, right, until there's
Yeah.
no more snow.
Right. I will be eating cardoons with this kind of weather we have. I will be eating cardoons out of that block. So what are the care tips for the blocks? Anything special would you suggest?
Yes, the care tips are, once you make the blocks, you have to water with a very fine mister
Like a
or
spray,
a
like a-
rose.
yeah.
Yes, because there's no roots yet. The roots aren't there to support. They don't provide the internal support yet, so you just need to be careful. You don't want them to erode.
That's right. They will completely break up if you overwater them, because they're very nice right now. Oh, I love them so much.
But they do like to be kept moist. You
Yeah.
don't want to let them dry out
No.
because once they dry out, it's very difficult for them to reabsorb water. So it's important to keep them at about the level of water that's in them when you construct them.
Okay. So good. This is an excellent new way. And Kelly, thank you so much for coming here today.
you so much.
Everyone in the audience is going home with a Johnny's Selected Seeds catalog. If you haven't ordered your seeds, this is a good time. And also, a packet of heirloom tomatoes. This one is the wonderful Brandywine. I love that
That's
tomato.
great.
Well, we'll be right back. Thank you so much.